Alright, so I need to do a review on the Aleko solar and wind charge hybrid controller. So this will be a informative video. I'm just going to go over what comes in the box. If this proves to be a popular video, I'll go over the actual powered on versions of this, and we'll go over the features. So this is just going to be what's in the box. I'm covering over my address information on there. So the box looks like this. This is the model CD 7.5 battery voltage. It says batter voltage. So obviously we're going to have some spelling errors coming up. So 24 volts, 600 watts. Rated power doesn't have the listing on their size. You can read that on there. It's another side of it, and then they don't have the info on that. And then on the bottom, let me make sure this is what it actually is from the listing. So the SKU number is CD 7.5-24 volts. It's I'll just call it Aleko CD 7.5-24 volts APE 24 volt wind and solar power hybrid charge controller. So that's what the box says. So let's see what's in the box. Alright, let me get this routed correctly here. So all I did was open up the tape and stuff so that we could look in here quite easily. I didn't have to mess around opening it. So this is what it looks like. You get a manual, and then you get the device in there. So let's go over the manual first, okay? So I always love manuals because they give you info. And there's a lot of reviews that they don't mention or they don't show the manual, and then you're kind of hosed because you can't find one online or whatever. It's better to show the manual in reviews. This is a really specialized product, so the idea is you can use up to 300 watts of solar panels at 24 volts in addition to 600 watts, up to 600 watts of wind simultaneously from the same controller. Now it's not going to be the multi PowerPoint tracking or anything like that. This is a not that type of solar controller. But what you do get, let's see. We might go back over that little diagram with the actual unit in hand. So what you do get is a multi-function controller. Now, have I actually used it? Nope. So, and the reviews and stuff online have been loving it and disliking it. So I need to actually try it for myself to be able to tell you. I will say it's very hard to get a controller in a wind generator with solar capability, all from the same company. And whether Aleko is like a rebranded sale outfit, or at least it's under the same company, so you would think they'd be compatible products. Maybe I'm assuming too much. So I've been completely sold on solar panels. I use multi-point power tracking charge controllers primarily. I've used the older style in the past. But so far so good. As far as wind generation, I have a little bit of experience with it. My primary problem with it is if you don't have the right setup, the wind can overcharge your batteries. And if you don't have a load dump or some other way of offsetting it, it can blow your batteries up. So that's from overcharging them. Basically burning off all your electrolyte and then igniting the hydrogen or something like that. That's the manual. Let's look at the device itself. Now, part of the reason I got this, I'll tell you here in a second. I actually have two Aleko 24 volt 400 watt Savonius type wind generators. They're still in the box. I have yet to put them together. And you come to find out that they may be a it may be a knockoff of a Taiwanese company's setup. According to this other guy's reviews, wish I could remember his name. I don't. But do your research. So but I will say I didn't know at the time, and I will say I got a really good price on those. So if they work-ish, that's fine. So here is your inputs. Let's see that diagram again. So part of this will be for me if, like, my situation personally is I would do a lot of manual labor, and I'm so exhausted that I'll even forget what I was talking about like the day before. And so what I can do is I can rewatch this video and possibly remember what I was trying to say. It's kind of sad, isn't it? Oh, my YouTube career is kind of faltering, so it's just the way it goes. Alright. So looking at this, you'll have your battery right there, 12 volt or 24 volt. In this case, it'd be 24 volt. Would hook up to your battery input. That's nicely labeled on there. Good. Positive, negative inputs. Battery. Okay. And then your solar, assume that's a solar panel, would come up to here to solar. I bet you that's the Chinese way of saying solar. Wow. It looks like you have DC lighting function. So here's your positive, and then you have two negatives. Interesting how they do that, how that works. And of course you have your wind input. And interesting, they have like a regular, they make regular style wind generators like that right there. That's your wind input. Well, that seems pretty simple, doesn't it? Okay. So on the back, you got a heat sink. It's really shaped kind of funny. There's on the sides you got heat sink. It's kind of a heavy unit for its size. It feels pretty heavy. And I think there's a heat sink in there, or sorry, I think it has a way. Well, it doesn't have any diversion, so I think there's a way it either cuts off the loads by stopping the wind generator, and or it has a way of absorbing the excess voltage and maybe converting it to heat. Maybe with some kind of resistors in there. So without opening it, I won't know. So what I want to do on my next video on this is actually hook it up to an approximately 24 volt battery supply and powering it on. This is pretty heavy. It's a heavy unit. Obviously you're gonna connect it right there and right there to its mounting. Here's another confirmation of what it is right there. So here's a problem. There was a listing for really cheap. What I thought was one of these again. So I had two wind generators. I bought one at regular price and I got one on sale because I guess it was a warehouse deal. But I have yet to assemble them. But what I'm getting at is here is I ordered this. I'll set this on the side here. Ordered this other one from VBN Sales LLC, and they shipped to Amazon, and then Amazon sold it to me. Let's see if I can make sure this package is sterile. So yeah, I think I did that coffee cup or something. So this is the CD 7.0 24 volt. Okay, compare that to the CD 7.5 24 volt. Okay, so for some reason the picture on this was the same as that right there, but when I got this, and I'll open this up for you. I don't even remember if it had a manual in it. It may have, but I don't know where I put it. I may have taken it to read it and I misplaced it. But it's gonna work approximately the same. But the problem with it is if you compare the two, I should take it out. Yeah, I'll take it out real quick. And this is how they packaged it. So don't get confused. This will help you out from making the same mistake. Okay, I think it may be weirdly listed still. This unit with the display, which I wanted, and it's built a lot more sturdy. That's the CD 7.5 DC 24 volt 600 watt. 600 watt refers to the wind capability. This right here is a CD 7.0. So instead of 7.5, this is a 7.0. Okay, this is 24 volt. And it's only wind turbine, as far as I know. Nope, I'm wrong. Take this off. So here's the inputs on this. So you have wind input and a solar input and a battery input, and these are probably not included or they're not labeled. But we'll put the two together and see what you get here. So I like these a lot better. You just stick in your wires, screw them down. I like those sort of connectors a lot better. These I don't like so much. You literally have to hook up your wire straight to the nut there. There's not a lot going on to keep it there. So she had a lot of vibrations and stuff going on. It's a wind generator. The vibrations can transmit down the wires. So that's what you get. It's more of a dumb controller. And on the back, this gave me a kick. I remember opening it up. Here, I'll open it for you. It's got 3 LEDs and normal and unload. This label here is paper. It's like sticky paper. Not for outdoors. Not one bit. No chance. And so on this, there isn't any real heat sinks like the other one. It feels really cheap. Honestly, compared to the other one, this one feels substantial. This one feels not so much. I think there was a manual for this, and I took it to read it, and I didn't put it back like a doofus. So I might do another review on it if I can find the manual. But the only reason I ordered it was like $50 compared to the $130 I think for this one or so. And I thought this was that, and it had a picture of that and everything, and it wasn't. So this would be more like a backup. I think it's just the dumb version of this, but because it's so light, I should have a scale, but I don't. This one's heavy. This one's like weighs, I'd say about 3 of those. This one feels like it would weigh like 3 of these as far as the weight. You can feel it's a lot thinner. It's a lot thicker. Even the paint's thicker, I think. Or is that powder coat? I don't know. So anyway, that's a quick review. I know I like reviews where they get powered on. But what I'll do is I'll include the links, Amazon affiliate links in the description. You can check them out and see what you want to do. It might be an option. I've yet to try these, but I want to inform you that they exist and to watch out for that pitfall that got me. Hopefully it'll help you out. And if I get a lot of likes and well, I don't know, just a lot of interaction, or more. I'm more after views. If I get a lot of views on it, maybe some comments that you'd like to see these powered on, and maybe even hooked up to wind controllers and get them tested, because I've yet to see on the internet either of these tested out with a very nice, several seconds to minutes on the display, going through all the. That's what the type of buttons. So that's more clicky over there. It's less so on here. But I want to have a review where it goes through all the display, powered on, so we can see what's going on. If you want that kind of review, I'll see how many reviews and stuff I get, and the more I get, obviously, the more chance or the more incentive I'll have to fully review these. So, okay. So if you're interested and you can't wait for the review and you're interested in purchasing these, you can go through the affiliate links if you like. And if you don't know how it all works, like Amazon's going to have like a set price, and they might have warehouse deals or coupons and stuff. But what they do is with the affiliate links, if you use the link, Amazon is going to charge you whatever they're going to charge you. But instead of keeping all the money themselves, they'll throw a little tiny cut of it to the affiliate as kind of like a attaboy for sending someone their way that they probably wouldn't have gotten. They think anyway. I know you're all smart. You can find this stuff yourselves, but that's just commerce, you know. And the more support I can get, the more incentive I have to keep pushing out videos. So, long story short, keep learning.